Now with today's video, I want to start a series going over some of the best two-way builds in NBA 2K23, but alongside that, I want to make strong player comparisons, right? The Klay Thompsons of the world, the Marcus Smarts, the MJs. And with today's video, we're going over 1988 Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan. I mean, he was on an absolute tear that season, getting all NBA first team, all defensive first team, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star, and the dunk contest winner where he pulled out the free throw line dunk to finish that thing off. And alongside the stats he was putting up, like 35 points per game, along with 3.2 steals, hey man, you got to go look up the numbers for yourself. But hey, we're going to go ahead and dive into this video, just showcasing this 1988 MJ. And if you're excited, make sure to subscribe. And hey, let's get it, my people.
Had to step my game up. When you bring my name up, they gon' say I came up. They gon' say I changed up.
So now we finally made it into the builder, and we're going with the shooting guard position, right hand jersey number 23. And hey, man, you want to go 6'6". Let's go 212 pounds here, because we are also going to try to see if we can get that bully badge as well. So we want to do what we can in that situation, but also pay respect to the fact that MJ did have a strong defensive presence. We're going to go with that defined body type. So now we got the physicals out the way. And once we get into the finishing, that's something that MJ was strong with. I mean, obviously he was the dunk contest winner that year. So we got to go ahead and just pay respects to that, right? With 18 finishing badges, we're at a good point. Now getting into the shooting, we all know that he wasn't the greatest three-point shooter early on in his career, but that doesn't mean he wasn't competent enough to hit a shot when he wanted to, especially when he was locked in. So as far as the mid-range shot, of course, you're not going to get the ratings if you actually look up what this build is built like within NBA 2K, but what you want to do is just try to get close. And the goal with this is now we get Mini Magician on Hall of Fame. And that enough in itself is going to add to your ability to hit those shots, along with Clutch Shooter, Comeback Kid, you get Space Creator. You also get Agent 3 and Blinders. Now you are missing out on Limitless Range, but that wasn't part of his game. So to have Mini Magician on Hall of Fame, that's going to give you enough to be able to knock down those shots. Now, when it comes to the free throw, we're going to go ahead and place that at 79, because that's going to be more on user error for you, right? Like, you got to be able to knock down your shots. Now, as far as being a playmaker, I'm looking at my notes as well, so just bear with me because I want to make sure I get this right for you guys. We're going to go 80 with 84 speed with ball, and the reason is because you still get access to the moves. Now I know a lot of people may just max out this ball handle, but we also have to spread these attributes thin because of how the builder is set up. So you're gonna get all the moves that you're looking to do to move like MJ, but you're not gonna have the ratings that actually replicate an MJ, but you can play like it. So now getting into the perimeter defense, the reason we want to make sure we have this at 87 is to get that tier 2 Hall of Fame menace and pick dodger, along with challenger, and especially to have the other ratings beside it. Now, we did mention that he averaged 3.2 steals that year. That gives you silver interceptor and bronze glove. Now, that just depends on positioning, but with this though, you can still get plucks with a 78. Don't sleep on it. Now, the block rating is something that we probably gonna take a little bit of a hit, but the main thing with this is that he still averaged 1 block per game, right? So he's gonna be able to shut down small guards trying to push him at the rim, and even some wings that don't have the strongest finishing. So a 75 block is gonna put you in a good category. Now, defensive rebound, this is something that is subjective, right? One of those things that I feel like you can get rebounds if you just have proper positioning. But with this though, we're not gonna waste points on that because we have other things to answer. So we're gonna go ahead and max out our acceleration. We're gonna go 85 speed. Now we're gonna bump this to 74 strength, and that allows us to get bronze bully. We're gonna take our vertical up to 82, and then our stamina up to 90. And we're at a good spot right now with 17, you know, defensive badges, 20 playmaking, 16 shooting, 18 finishing. Now let's go ahead and add all this back to interior defense because Jordan was a ferocious defender on the floor at all phases of it. That gives you 18, 20, 16, and 18. Solid setup. And with this also, you can add the +4 badge points to any of these categories, right? You go defense, now you have 22. You go shooting, you have 20. And so with that, right, you have options all across the board with this build. You also get the elite contact dunks with the 92 driving dunk and the 82 vertical, 74 strength. You got the bronze bully. And so, like I said, right, you're not going to be the guy getting boards if you're playing with a 7-footer. It's just not gonna happen, a 6'11 guy. But if you're looking for a twos build, rework this and do something else with it. But as far as taking a look at this build in its entirety, in my opinion, this is Defensive Player of the Year MJ right here, man. So once we get to our takeovers, we get slasher, shot creator, playmaking, and lock take. Really good set. Once again, MJ wasn't the greatest shooter, so he isn't gonna access sharp take at all. So what we're gonna do is go easy blow-bys, and then the next one, ankle breaking shots. You can change this up how you want, but in my opinion, this is how an MJ would be set up if it was 1988 Defensive Player of the Year Michael Jordan. And you see the comparisons right now, not necessarily the greatest in my opinion, but we get a two-way inside the arc score. And honestly, this is what MJ looks like to me, plays like, and it's a really good description of what I think MJ would be. Now let's go ahead and test the build real quick just so you guys can take a look at the badge setup that I would go with if we're gonna do this. So we got 18 badge points available. And the unfortunate part is we got Limitless Takeoff and Bully and Posterizer in tier 3. And that's just unfortunate because of the height restrictions that we have. So we're gonna go Giant Slayer. That's something he's capable of doing. Pro Touch, Rise Up. We're also gonna go Back Down Punisher, just so we can get that in that category. Fearless Finisher, you might as well put that on Silver. Masher, and now we have 5 points available. If it was me, I'm gonna put this all onto Bully. We're gonna just go 5 points on Bully, and then we could honestly core this if we like. That way we can keep those 5 points available, and then we go Posterizer. Now, you can either go Posterizer or you can go Limitless Takeoff. And I think with Limitless and Bully, this is gonna put you in a strong category to do whatever you wanna do at the rim. Especially having Giant Slayer and Pro Touch, hey, you're gonna be making a lot of layups with ease with this build. Now getting into the shooting, of course, you got Guard Up. Let's go ahead and pour into that. Mini Magician's gonna be his setup. He was a volume shooter. Catch and shoot puts you in positive situations. Corner Specialist, especially if you're working out of, say, a post situation. And let's go ahead and drop, say, Guard Up by 1. This gives us access to agent 3s. So essentially this is like stop and pop 3s in that situation, right? So now you have agent 3 cord and you have 5 badge points available. So we can pour back into badges like Amped, Guard Up, Volume Shooter, Mini Magician, Hall of Fame, and even Corner Specialist if you so happen to be a player that decides to take this into the rec or pro-am type situation, right? So now with the 20 playmaking, let's go ahead and go Ankle Breaker. You get Needle Threader as a #1 badge, but we're gonna go ahead and pour into Quick First Step, Hyperdrive, Unpluckable. You gotta have those. And this is where it comes down to, you know, preference, right? I'm gonna core killer combos in that situation. And then we have 5 badge points available, but from there, we might as well just add Plant Breaker. And I think this right here is a good setup. So if you have killer combos cored, which is gonna be a really hard badge to core, but even if you cored Quick First Step at 5, that's gonna be good enough for you. Along with Clamp Breaker, some of you may go handles for days, but outside of that, I think this is a solid general setup for playmaking. And then defense, gotta go ankle braces at least on gold. And this is if you go the +4, right? So we got ankle braces on gold. We're gonna max out Menace. We're gonna go Silver Pick Dodger, and we have to have Challenger in some capacity. We'll go with Interceptor. So now This is a decent setup if you're getting started. Challenger on gold. He's a really good contest defender. I think these two will be interchangeable however you want to set that up. So don't take this as gospel, you know what I mean? So with that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, and hey, this is my two-way inside the arc score. Peace.
It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I did the best. Yes. I copped that crib and bought 2 chains and then I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most.